Hello, it's a Sunday. It's rum day. What do I see in the chat? Fox, oh, you can send you without rum. That's like a Pirates of the Caribbean line, isn't it? What happened to the rum? Luke, no, I am not going to do shots of rum cocktails. I'm not. Stella, good evening. Just running last minute things. Just made some soda water. Going to add, or I'm probably going to want a spoon to mix this actually. Going to add some blood orange and a little bit of homemade grenadine, aka pomegranate syrup. Yep, that's really heavy. Oh, fuck me, I almost dropped that. Jesus. Although it's a really thick glass bottle, it probably wouldn't have broke even if it hit the tiles. Just need a mixing spoon, I realised. Get me a mixing spoon. It's a bit of a dirty colour, this one. Oh, that's good. Real good. Stella having a bit of insomnia. That's not good. I don't have insomnia, but I didn't have great sleep last night. I have to admit, woke up a few times. And could have just laid in bed all morning, but I dragged myself out. That's all right. Hey, Philip. My Sunday is relaxing, peaceful, nothing happening. Did go for a walk, got my sunshine and exercise that we are allowed in our current lockdown. Walked around the local park. Philip, I stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And I think most people watch on YouTube. So most of the chat I reply to is on YouTube. But some people watch on Facebook. So, yes, I felt a bit productive with household things today. Like, as I said yesterday, I was having the excitement of dicing with the weather and having some clothes on the line rather than hanging them inside on a rack. And it paid off. It didn't really rain. So I got them done, just did household stuff. Got to freaking do the dishes. Well, put them in the dishwasher and take some others and put them in. This is the endless cycle. That is true, Luke. We did sell the fridge on Facebook one night. It's a weird thing that some sad people, I don't know, if it amuses them, good. Like that was not a thing. That was not about me. That's a thing that some people apparently do that they find hilarious to say they've joined the stream to buy a fridge. I said, yeah, hey, if that's your idea of fun, okay. It's more harmless than a lot of things people do. So that's the thing you want to do. That's a thing you can do, I guess. I don't really know what was behind it, but it was a thing and it happened. So yes, life goes on. I feel like joining on YouTube because Facebook's gross. Yeah. Facebook. What a thing it is. Profiting off making humanity worse. That's basically the summary of Facebook. Profiting from the worst aspects of human nature and actually making things actively worse. Yes, Facebook is the problem, basically. Look, it should have gone like MySpace did. The fact that Facebook is still around is really gross. Things were meant to go through cycles. You know, we do one thing for 5 or 6 years and then it gets replaced by something else. And Facebook has just got its tentacles into everything and is just this fucking evil, omnipresent eye surveilling the world at the moment. What's it? The panopticon. That's the word I was looking for. Well, look, nothing lasts forever. You're right. One day, Facebook will cease to be very relevant and cease to make much money. Nothing lasts forever. And it's not just technology. The rise and fall tends to happen a bit faster in technology. But you look at like vehicle manufacturers, various big conglomerates, most of them rise and fall. And when they're at their peak, no one can imagine them ever going away. But they do. Oh, that's bad side. You're yawning in the first 10 minutes. Ugh. Hopefully, I'm not perpetually yawning. So there's always Twitter. Humanity can go much worse than Facebook. I don't think Twitter's as damaging as Facebook. There is arguably worse behavior on Twitter, but there's something about Facebook and the groups like, you know, Facebook has actively contributed to and profited from genocide. So Facebook is a soulless monstrosity. Lots of fucked up shit happens on Twitter, but I don't think Twitter's done as much damage as Facebook has. You know, YouTube isn't the only video site now. It's still the only one that matters in terms of people creating content and potentially being able to generate revenue from it. And in the last, I don't know, how long has YouTube been around? 14, 15 years? In that time, dozens of would-be competitors have appeared. And while YouTube doesn't have the complete dominance it used to have simply because of the amount of competition, nobody is even vaguely close to challenging YouTube. So yeah, YouTube, for all its pros and cons, is still around. And I hope you agree regarding Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, I mean, people behave horribly on Twitter, but I think in terms of just pumping ridiculous conspiracies and propaganda directly into people's veins and filling their brains with nonsense, Facebook has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. In fact, YouTube is probably worse at circulating propaganda than Twitter. Again, YouTube worshipping the algorithm and going, oh, look, these sorts of videos drive engagement. Let's push more and more people towards this content. And this content happened to be extreme right-wing conspiracy shit that fucked up the brains of a lot of people. You can't say that YouTube's solely responsible for that, because people have, you know, free will to an extent. But YouTube ignored how bad the problem was for years after it was brought to their attention. Oh my God, you are pushing stuff that's basically indiscernible from Nazi ideology to millions of really easily influenced people. And YouTube put their head in the sand for a couple of years, really, until it reached the ears of advertisers like, hey, your ads are being run on, as I said, ideology that's very hard to discern from Nazism. And advertisers decided they didn't like that. And that's the dollars talking. So that's when YouTube listened to an extent, when the dollars were talking. The whole thing, I think YouTube is a really good example of there's no absolute good, and you can't argue there's absolute evil, but there's no absolute good. I mean, the whole no gatekeeper thing was so important and enabled so many things to happen that otherwise wouldn't have, created so much amazing content, like, I don't know, millions of hours of absolutely amazing content, hundreds of millions of hours of really shit content, but millions of hours of really good content and careers for thousands of people who wouldn't have had it otherwise. And it was all because there was no gatekeeper. But you hit a certain point, and no gatekeeper means very bad things happen. And there's that tension. And this is why, okay, so my politics, I'm always really obvious about. I'm like, radical loony left. And people say, well, so you want, a political party you support in power forever? And the short answer is no, because we've seen time and time and time again, human nature is to abuse power. As the saying goes, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. No matter how good someone's intentions are at the start, they end up pursuing power for its own sake, and they end up doing terrible things to protect their power. You need that tension of conservative and radical, and everything in the middle of those two, sort of pushing and pulling each way, because if either side had unchallenged power, that would, no matter how good their intentions were to start with, that would just be totalitarianism within a certain number of years, because we have seen the actual examples of that throughout human history again and again and again and again. And we've never seen an example of people in power who didn't start to abuse their power if they were unchallenged. And it starts with little things, like corruption and whatnot, and then ends up in police state shit. Kirsten, hello. Hellion, hello. Good evening. Standard entry now. Hellion, hello. So YouTube gives you a clearer speaking lectern. Facebook helps you feel a false sense of community. Twitter's vitriolic. This is a shouting match. Yeah. Yeah, Twitter is easier to ignore. Facebook is more addictive for its audience. Peter, we should never have had Trump. Trump is just the worst. He's just pandered to the absolute worst in human nature, and really fucked some shit up. Like, Stripper, you're here after a 2-hour experience with a senile pizza owner. Okay. You have an entertaining pizza shop owner locally. Oh, well, bit of entertainment with your pizza, I suppose. Although I have to admit, I hate people who essentially say with the US politics, oh, you shouldn't criticize Biden. You shouldn't say Biden's shit. Biden's fucking terrible. Biden fucking sucks. He's such a bad candidate. He's better than Trump. Go, that is the lowest fucking low bar ever. It's kind of like me telling a dude, you got a choice. I'm going to smash your dick with a hammer, or I'm going to smash your toes with a hammer. And he goes, that sounds like a bad idea. You go, too late. Now I'm smashing your dick with a hammer. Bang, bang, and screams in pain for 4 years. And then it's like, okay, now we're having a break. I'm going to smash your toes with a hammer. And they go, that's fucking terrible too. It's like, do you want me to go back to smashing your dick with a hammer? He goes, no, that was actually worse. But are you telling me my only two choices are having my dick smashed with a hammer or having my toes smashed with a hammer? That's what the logic sounds like, these people. But in fact, I saw it. I saw one of these people who thought they were so clever get fucking shot down on Twitter. They're saying, at this point, complaining about Biden is like if you're on an airline and you're on an airline and they're bringing the food and the person with the serving trolley says, you have a choice. There's this plate of dog shit filled with broken glass and barbed wire or chicken. And it's like saying, how's the chicken cooked? And they thought they were really clever, like, you should just take the chicken. And someone responded, yeah, but if you let me, what the situation is really like is if you shut the fuck up about me asking how the chicken's cooked, the person serving is going to go, oh, no, it's not cooked, it's raw. So, yeah, those are your choices. The shit and sharp things that will tear you to pieces straight away, or the raw chicken that's probably going to give you salmonella. So it's like fucking ridiculous. Oh, like a Trevor, he's a world's going to end type of person. And I'm sure he just really wants to share that with you while you're waiting for your pizza too. You're like a captive audience. And you can just really talk your ear off while you wait for your pizza. Be like the longest 10 minutes in the world as you wait for the pizza and hear all his theories. But yeah, I hope the pizza was good anyway. That would make it worthwhile. Yeah, no, I've been in environments like that. Like I had my accountant at one point want to relate his 9/11 conspiracy theories to me, and I was like, how about no? It's like, I'm not going to waste my time taking apart these conspiracies one by one, but every single thing you are bringing up, because you saw it on Facebook, has been completely refuted. Everything's been disproven. I don't have the time to do it, but trust me, every single one of these conspiracies has been unequivocally refuted. So, oh no, Locust Trooper, it wasn't even a good pizza. God damn. You had a marinara pizza with End of the World on top. Oh my God. No, that's okay. You need to get your food from somewhere else. Clearly, that sounds like a really bad deal. Yeah. It's happened to me, whether it's the food place or just being served in a shop, and the person, and you start talking to them and they just come out with something about, the New World Order and the Freemasons and the Bilderberg Group. And you're just like, please let me leave. Just let me leave. That is not what I'm here for. I need to go. But oh no, not too much. Oh, Kirsten, I meant to ask you something because I was looking for cocktail ideas, and on the site Punch Drink, I found some very interesting stuff. Not just cocktail recipes, but other ideas as well. And do you like olives in your martini? Is the question. Politics and pizza. Okay, so Kirsten, because what I was thinking is because I saw this recipe and it was, I don't know if you've ever tried fat washing. It was for olive oil washed. Well, they were saying vodka, but I was thinking because you obviously do gin martinis. So I'll just bring it up. What they say about olive oil washed, which is really just a couple of ounces of olive oil, and I was thinking put this in the gin, olive oil, mix it in, and then freeze it. And of course, the gin won't freeze, but the olive oil will. And then you can take that olive oil out and strain the gin to get rid of any little pieces. And then you've got gin that has natural olive flavor in it. Just throwing it out there as an idea. Like tribute. Okay, you're getting pizza from an Indian dude. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Kirsten, you like cocktail onions. Oh, Patient Wolf actually make an olive oil fat washed martini. Ah, that sounds good. Locust Trooper, that was Mrs. Angry just getting, actually, I think it was some dessert. She was heating up a bread and butter pudding she made. And yeah, and also when I was looking through these recipes, there was another one I was going to tell Invisible Chicken about a potentially good base for non-alcoholic drinks. They recommend, like, if you're juicing citrus with the leftovers, you just sort of chuck them all in a container and cover them in sugar, and then add water, and you have like a cordial base for non-alcoholic, well, or for alcoholic drinks as well, for that matter. But it'd be a good base for non-alcoholic drinks. Like she didn't say hello to me, or she didn't say hello on camera. She is supportive of what I do, but is not going to get involved in my foolishness. She happens to be a professional and doesn't need weird shit that I do on the internet getting mixed up with her professional career. So that's why she's never in any of my videos. Because yeah, she has a professional reputation, and I wouldn't exactly be good for that, quite honestly. So that's just the way it is. But that's all good. So cruising into Monday when I'm back at work. I must have had a good weekend because it feels like a long time since I was at work. I've just been relaxing, like literally sitting on the lounge and watching stuff. Actually, I did do some practical stuff around the house as well, but a lot of time sitting on the lounge, watching episodes of Schitt's Creek and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and what else did I watch? I think I watched a couple of movies. movies. I watched the new sort of very light sci-fi, more action film on Netflix, Project Power. That was not bad. I watched that just this afternoon. Hello, Strictly Sega. How are you? Yeah, I didn't really like the start of Project Power because you had your evil villain giving a really cliche evil villain speech, but it was better after that. Like it's not legendary. It's not going in my top 10 or anything but it was entertaining. Locust Trip, you're nearly a qualified psychologist doing your master's. Nice. That's good stuff. Anyway, I did watch something else. What else did I watch? I feel like I watched another movie. Can't have been that memorable, can it? Did I or didn't I? It's getting weird now trying to remember what I watched. Maybe I watched something on Prime. I finished watching the first season of Upload. That's fun. That's a very light show. It's fun. Some very fun jokes about technology and where it might go. Probably my favorite joke in the whole thing is they have a Tinder type app, and except apparently it's the default way of interact rather than for desperate horny people. It's how everyone interacts and hooks up with this Tinder-like app, and to the point where one of the protagonists, who's female, is hooking up with a dude, and she says, because she's actually just using him to get somewhere, like, you're like, I actually want to go on a date, like go out and have dinner and talk. And the guy doesn't. He starts to really enjoy it. And he just starts saying things like, I'm really enjoying this just talking to you. Oh, wow, that makes me sound like a perv. So basically anything that wasn't purely about hooking up and leaving is weird. So, yeah. Look, does Mrs. Angry get angry with rules and jargon? Yes, I think she does. Yes. Luke's been watching V8 Supercars. Cool. I strictly say you watch Booksmart. Didn't love it. Was okay. I thought for a teen coming of age comedy, it was really good. Again, it's not a legendary film, but for a teen coming of age movie, it was pretty goddamn funny. As more original than most. Two, you've seen that you liked Jesus Rolls. I don't know that one. Train to Busan, the South Korean horror film, zombie film. Train to Busan was pretty good. I did not like the resolution of it. I thought they put some really dumb, contrived stuff towards the end, which annoyed me. I won't say more than that to spoil it. But and it, certainly not everyone thinks thing, but yeah, the basic premise is, as the name of the movie says, it's about the train to Busan, a city in South Korea, and there's a zombie outbreak, and it becomes a fight for survival for the people on the train. Will they make it to Busan? It's pretty intense, like in terms of a zombie film. It's a good one. Kathy filmed a video looking at you 200 to 300 million year old rocks in the Aguilar range. Nice. Oh, Jesus the Rolls, spin-off from The Big Lebowski. I have not heard of that. Is it actually with John Turturro? Because Jesus is no, he actually calls himself the Jesus, doesn't he? It's not Jesus. He calls himself Jesus. He is the bowling competitor for our protagonists in The Big Lebowski. Yes, like a stripper, you do get characters if you work in mental health. You had sex addicts who bachelor's degree. Mrs. Angry works in public health out around Dandenong and does get a lot of asylum seekers, refugees. So people who've been through some shit. Yeah, that's it, Stella. Nobody fucks with the Jesus. And he does that weird thing where he tongues his bowling ball. But yes. So, on what medium do we find Jesus rolls? Because that's news to me. I didn't know that was a thing that was out. The Jesus rolls, 2019. There you go. Not very well reviewed. Not that that's the be all and end all. But I do note not very well reviewed. Lee, good evening to you. No, I have not thought of being a psychologist. One in the family's enough. I have my own thing. Less of a contributor to society, in my humble opinion, but I make more money. So, swings and roundabouts. Luke, does this Jesus turn over tables too? Probably. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he flips tables. That's the important thing, Strictly Sega. It doesn't matter what the reviewers say if you like it. So, but yeah, I've not seen it on any of the streaming services. But I might keep an eye out for it. Psychologists in private practice can make good money. Mrs. Angry works for the public health system. So, she doesn't make bad money by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that being a contract IT person, I make more. That's the way the system works. What I do is directly about companies making money, so I get paid more. And I would freely admit I am far less of a contributor to society. That's the thing. So, Jesus Rolls is actually a remake of an old movie called Going Places. Oh, you think it pissed off a lot of Lebowski fans because there's nothing like Lebowski? Well, there you go. Well, Mrs. Angry doesn't like the Big Lebowski, so maybe she'd like Jesus Rolls. I don't know. Who knows? I like John Turturro. He's usually good in anything he's in. God reminds me, it was a couple of years ago. There was a crime series called The Night Of. It was really good. He was a lawyer in it, a really low rent lawyer. Is there a difference? It's a really low rent lawyer. The lead, who is the accused, he's accused of killing a young woman on the night of. Riz Ahmed plays things. So it's really good because, from the lead in, he's going to be accused of murder. And he picks up this girl in his dad's taxi. He's actually skipping off to go to a party. And then it's like he gets in there, and when he's with her, there's these things that happen. And you can tell, okay, she's going to get killed and he's going to be accused of a murder. And there's a series of things that happen, and as it's happening, I'm just going, dude, that's going to look so bad. That's going to incriminate you so badly. And you're seeing when this thing happens, it's nothing to do with her getting murdered, but it sets a situation that would look like incriminating evidence on him when it isn't. But it's well worth it if you see it. The Night of is a very good, because most of it's the court case, so it's pretty good. Kathy, yes, psychiatrists, shrinks make good money. Yes, because they can prescribe drugs. I strictly say you were thinking of Stanley Tucci. Also, someone who's very good in almost anything he does. So I can understand mixing them up. That's from about 3 or 4 years ago. The Night of came out like 3 or 4 years ago. Very good, very good. I mean, what have I been watching? That's, like I said, there's the Prime series Upload, which is light comedy. It's a bit of fun. Not the greatest show ever. I watched a bit of that Space Force on Netflix, and it's not terrible, but I don't really laugh at it. It's like I kind of watched about 4 episodes of it, kind of enjoy watching it, but not actually laughing while I watch it. Because apparently it's like people who made the American version of The Office made this, and it's got the saying, God, I'm forgetting his name. The lead from The Office is the lead in Space Force as well. And they apparently get fucking lots of shit from the White House. Like the White House was trying to, I don't know how true it was, but there were reports the White House was trying to sue them for calling it Space Force. That's it. Thank you, Steve Carell. Oh, don't give away anything about the ending, Kathy, but you really liked it. Well, that's good. So you can say you like the monkey episode. I did see the monkey episode. It was pretty funny. So my favorite Steve Carell story is from the filming of the 40-year-old virgin, the bit where he's getting waxed. That's actually his real body hair. He's that fucking hairy. And so they could only do it. They could only do the thing once, because once you wax some of him, and so a lot of that was ad-libbed, and the reactions of the beautician who's doing the wax stripping is a real reaction, just laughing at the whole thing. It's weird. Yes, Kathy, we have our own Space Force called ARS. Australian Research and Space Exploration. I love that Facebook group. For those who don't know, it's like the libs wanted to fucking join in with the Space Force stupidity and said they were setting up this new thing for space. And some very clever person decided it should be called, this is not what the government wants called, but someone set up this Facebook group that pretends to be it, the Australian Research and Space Exploration, or ARS. So, Stella, okay, you like Space Force. Oh, obviously, yeah, John Malkovich is in Space Force, and he is very good in it. He is very good. I think Steve Carell's good in it too, actually. Kathy, you want an ass bomber jacket. Nice. Fox, opening the stream. Oh, we're going to open the stream anyway. I don't know if I'm making I'll probably make a cocktail. I'll probably make a drink. Yes. Yeah, that was pretty sad. Strictly Sega. Fred Willard died. He looked pretty fucking frail when he was in Space Force, honestly. It's the last thing he did. But yes. So, yes, for anyone who wants to join the stream, let's do that. Do copy to clipboard. Oh, wow. Stella is saying the other thing with the Steve Carell story, the actress who waxed his chest said she could wax, but she'd never actually waxed before. So that would have made it even more painful. Yikes. So that's the link if anyone wants to join the stream. And hello, Fox.
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
I think I recognize the bunny logo. What's that?
It's the logo of a character in a video game.
Yes, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. What video game is it?
Overwatch.
Oh, right. Okay. No, that's the reason, mate, because for PAX one year, my lad actually made a costume for that Overwatch character and had the bunny on it. So that's where I remember it from.
He probably looked good in it.
Yeah. Oh, so it was really funny. He made it out of cardboard boxes. So he was like an 8-bit version of it. I thought it was really good. He made it all out of he made the armor out of cardboard boxes. So it was like an 8-bit or Minecrafty version of the character, which I thought was pretty cool. Locust Troop is saying, yeah, now we just use a shaver for manscaping. I get advertisers for shavers for your junk non-stop on YouTube. And the ads are actually pretty funny most of the time, but it's just like, wow, they're just really, and women have told me they're seeing them too. So that's apparently not particularly targeted. It's just like blanket advertising for electric shavers for your junk.
I mean, women need to shave down, or they can shave down their too if they want.
Yeah, obviously they could, but the ads are all specifically for men. Obviously, there would be nothing to stop. There you go. Locust Trooper recommends the shavers. Yeah, Strictly Sega YouTube thinks I've got hairy balls or something. So.
I mean, we have no proof either way, and we don't want proof.
No, we're not going there. Let's just say, I'm old, and the whole manscaping thing did not come into vogue until way past I was into the dating pool. I can think of a million reasons why I don't want to be in the dating pool, and the quandary over, God, do I have to shave my bits, is one of them. So. I don't know. It's just all a bit.
Putting something sharp and mechanical down there doesn't sound appealing.
Well, that's really funny. The ads make a big deal out of, like they have guys using the wrong thing and it's off camera and they're going, ah! So, yeah. Yes, Strictly Saying, you think my vinyl was the giveaway that I have a lot of pubes? It's a generational thing. That's all there is to it. It didn't start coming into vogue until millennials were in were hitting their 20s. They were the first ones subject to it. It's weird. It's like when you say there is actually all this pressure now of advertising telling guys to shave body hair and this, that, and the other. And yeah, women rightly say, well, now 100th of the pressure that we get put under. Good point. I don't know that it counts as a move towards equality to say we're going to make men just as worried and insecure and put just as much pressure on them. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a move towards equality.
No.
Seems
like the opposite direction.
Yeah. It just seems like, oh no, let's be regressive to everyone. It's like some people didn't have this regressive shit pushed at them. We should do that. We should. And it's weird. Like you get the thing like, I think being particularly made popular by Korean boy bands, you do get more guys wearing makeup now. And despite what the butcho crowd go, it's not purely gay dudes who do it either. And again, it's like, I'm all for it. Someone wants to go for it. I thought, no, but God, is it going to be in 20 years? Is it actually going to be the same amount of ridiculous pressure on men? Like, you actually have to wear makeup all the time. And it's just like, that's not a good move. It's not a move towards equality. Making everyone feel shit is not my idea of a good move. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old. That's what it's all about. I don't like change. Look, do I have a brand? No, there isn't a brass rail there. I'm thinking I was talking about rum drinks the other day, and there's one that's really non-standard. It's not the sort of drink people think about when they think about rum, I think, because normally people think rum and fruit juices and the tropical style drinks.
Rum and Coke.
Yeah, rum and Coke.
This is a cocktail.
Or add lime juice to it, and it's Cuba Libre. Things like daiquiri. It was really simple. God, I forget what's daiquiri is rum and lime and sugar syrup. Is that it? Rum, lime, and sugar. Yeah, okay. I thought it might have had. Well, I think some people's variations of rum do have other things. It's one of the ones there's a million riffs on. Everyone's got their own version of a daiquiri. But now there's this other one that I've been thinking of trying. It's called a brass rail. And it's rum and Benedictine and lemon juice and sugar syrup and an egg white. And that's an interesting combination. I think I might try and make that. I've got some Benedictine. Kathy makes a good point. Global warming will make it impossible to wear makeup in 20 years because it'll just melt. Yeah. It's or they'll come up with some new horrible sort of makeup that just permanently bonds to your skin and takes a real effort to get off. I like Locust Trooper's question. What was unacceptable back in my day? Men shaving body hair, men wearing makeup, absolutely frowned upon. You go back far. It's like the jokes about boomers saying like, "Oh, you're all too sensitive these days. You lose your shit over anything." It's like, shut up, boomer. You lost your shit if a black person drank out of the same water fountain as you, which is a much worse thing to lose your shit over. So I think we collectively, society, are getting better. We regress a bit from time to time. And some places more than others. Like you look at what's happening in Russia, not good. Belarus is in the news at the moment. It's like the last of the dictators of the Eastern Bloc, who's been running Belarus for decades, is sending the army in, and the army and police are starting to quit. And I think he should get out while the getting's good. Because if everyone turns on him, they're going to kill him. He should get himself out of the country before they kill him, because that's what ends up happening to dictators. Oh, there you go. Stella's got the tip. Being a desert dweller, BB creams are good in the heat. There you go. Yes, I don't think there's pressure on men to wear makeup today. I think it's getting more towards the acceptable stage. But yeah, from what I've been told, there's a lot of pressure to do some manscaping if you're going out on the old dating market. So yeah. Kathy, good point. The difference between the desert and Brisbane is Brisbane's 99% humidity. So, yes, humidity in the tropics generally is a bit blur. Like I holidayed in Darwin one year,
Oh,
and it's nice. I actually really recommend the Northern Territory, Darwin and Kakadu and all that. But Darwin, just because of the humidity, constant heat and humidity, always smells like rotting garbage. It's not garbage, it's vegetation. But you can't tell the difference between rotting garbage and rotting vegetation because it's just rotting that you smell. Locust Trooper wants to know how old you are, Fox. Yeah, we're letting secrets
30.
out. 30, you are. There you go, millennial. Yep. Yeah.
My birthday was, wait, what month is it?
What month? Yeah, see?
August, okay. June.
Time means nothing. Yeah.
That's 2 months ago.
Yep.
Give or take.
There you go. Stella's counter to the humidity thing is the humidity doesn't mean shit when you're sweating your ring off. Yeah, there's enough sweat to wash stuff off. Kirsten also chimes in with BB cream is good with 50 plus SPF. Yeah, we're all going to need the 50 plus SPF in the future just to go outside.
Probably going to need to make a new number.
Well, that's why they just plus, you know. So I think they've worked out like, I still remember when it was like, oh, this is a sun protection factor of 8. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, now there's a sun protection factor of 12. Oh, this is just the best protection you can get. And then someone worked out like, no, we've got like the worst fucking skin cancer in the world. We just need to really up the sun protection factor. And so now you get these default ones that are 50 plus. You've made Locust Trooper feel old because he's 33. There you go.
Oh, you're not that old.
No, that's you're very paranoid if 30 to 33 makes you feel old. Just get have a 17-year-old listen to music you like and see the look on their face. Then you'll feel old. 17-year-olds think like 25-year-olds are old, but and yeah, do the Grandpa Simpson on them. It happened to me, it'll happen to you.
I used to be with it, and now what is it isn't it anymore. Actually, I was never with it. Let's be fair.
Yes, I would have to admit that I was never particularly with it.
I was the nerdy, geeky, Aspie kid.
Yeah.
Guess what my popularity in school was?
What was that?
Not near me. I had no popularity. Well, I had some friends, but...
Yeah. Philip raises a good point. Sun protection factor 15 is fine if you remember to reapply it.
Yeah, if you remember.
And you have to do it about once an hour. So, yeah. Oh, I think Kathy wants to bond over the Aspie stuff as well.
Yes, I'm an Aspie. You probably wouldn't have guessed it about the everything about me.
So Joanna is 37, but is apparently not how you look. I'm going to be polite and not say, do you look younger or older? But it's like I've had friends, and height has a lot to do with it, but I've had friends who were basically approaching 30 and get asked for ID in places because they're not very tall. And yeah.
You know what else helps for those of us of the male variety?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't grow facial hair to any degree till I was like 27 anyway. I was like,
it's about 20. I'd have to go back and look at older pictures of myself to see where I first actually started getting anything of note.
Yeah. So what was I going to say? Like, I remember guys in high school who, like 16, 17-year-olds who had to shave. 16, 17-year-olds who shaved more than I did when I was 25, 26. I only had to shave regularly when I was about 27. And then I stopped shaving. So I've basically had facial hair since then. I've shaved it off a couple times over the year, but I always let it grow back. Oh, there you go. Kirsten was queen of the freaks, geeks, and other assorted nobodies in high school. Yeah, I don't want to stereotype all of us, but I think that's who gravitates to platforms like YouTube as well.
I plead innocent.
Yeah. All right, I am going to make a brass rail. Just because I've never made one. Said like a 7-year-old.
Going to go AFK as well. I'm going to go get some soda water.
All right, good plan. Dom. All right, so I've got the two I need here. The recipe. The recipe says use a blended rum, aged 6 to 10 years. This is a 7-year-old. They did say Caribbean. I think technically this is not Caribbean because it's from Nicaragua. But it's a very well-established brand, Flor de Cana. Flower of the cane and the Dom, Benedictine. And lemon juice. Did I put that back in the fridge? I put lemon juice in my Pepsi earlier. Sugarcane syrup. Oh, I've got to do an egg white. Okay. Do something to save the egg yolk. Grab a little Tupperware thing to save the egg yolk. Oh, I'm making a mess in the kitchen. Right. My Tupperware thing to save the egg yolk. Get an egg. Oh, there we go. Oh, holy shit. I'm doing that. You broke that. All right. So I've got an egg. And I got the lemon juice. Need to get my sugar.
Damn, I knew I forgot something.
Sugar syrup. Okay. Oh, I need my jigger as well. And my shaker. Jesus, I'm forgetting everything. No. Yeah, it's got lemon juice. We want to shake this. Jigger. What will I put it in? They say a coupe. Okay. We'll quickly chill a coupe. Shaker. Where did I put the shaker? Here. Shaker. Okay. So, ready to rock and or roll.
Joanne just said she was a choir nerd in high school. I mean, you can hear my voice. Singing is not my strong suit.
All right. So, gonna crack the old Eggo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought that was going to end. Oh, doing it backwards again. Did that last night. Egg white, in you go. Come on. That's it. Egg white. Go in. Eggshell, go over there. Put you in compost a bit later. Got egg white all over my hands now. That's okay. Actually, no, it's not. I'm going to wash them. It's gross. Got egg white all over me. Well, not all over me, but enough to be annoying. All right. Wash your hands. Joys of live streaming from your kitchen. Okay, so I forgot to dry shake again. Oh well.
Joanna, he's going to do cocktails. He doesn't do straight spirits.
I very rarely drink straight spirits, Joanne. I did do taste tests because I ended up buying a lot of different rums, and I have done taste tests of them straight side by side. But for pleasure, I make cocktails, not straight. I'm not very straight. Okay, so 50 mils, 1 2/3 ounces of the rum. Let's. So that's 1.5. That's about 1 2/3. He says eyeballing it, and just half an ounce of the Benedictine for the herbs, the herbal notes.
Joanna, yes, some alcohols do taste different depending on the brand. Also, some people say.
What are we saying? What tastes different?
She said so. They do taste different.
Oh yeah, no, they're incredibly different. Even just rums that are kind of marketed the same, like they'll say, "Yeah, this is an aged dark rum, but made by different people, different companies, will taste different." But yeah, for instance, like this is a relatively light taste. The Beanley, which is an Australian rum that I have, the Beanley dark rum, is very sweet. Like, I think it has added sugar. The Florida Cana people make a big point of they don't add sugar. And then I've got Bundaberg 12-year-old black rum, which has got much deeper sort of molasses, even somewhat chocolatey sort of flavors in it. And where if you get a white rum like Bacardi or something, that's much lighter. People often refer to rum, particularly the aged rums, as being funky, as in the aging process has, because it's made from a base of sugarcane molasses. You start to taste that rather agricultural flavor in some of them. The thing. All right, so what else do I have to put in here? Just half an ounce of lemon juice. And only 10 mils of sugar syrup. Okay, not even going to bother to measure that. That's just a little bit.
So you don't get lemon juice straight out of the lemon angry?
I often do, but honestly, I don't think you can tell the difference when it's shaken.
This is much more convenient.
Yeah. But mind you, I do notice, because as I said, I like to add it just to like my Pepsi Max, and I think I can taste a difference in Pepsi Max, but with a really mixed drink, I don't think you can tell. Maybe I should have turned my microphone off. That's probably really loud.
Maybe.
I'm going to do it again. That's now painfully cold to hold, so I've probably shaken it enough. Now. I don't. It says I should do a dusting of cinnamon. Do I want to be? Yeah, I want to be super sophisticated. Where are we? I've got a big thing of cinnamon here. All right, so I've got some cinnamon powder. Get my glass out of the freezer. Get my strainer. Where is it? my strainer. This is one you're supposed to double strain. Maybe I'll double strain it. Might be still gloppy bits of egg, even though I did shake it rather fiercely.
And Kirsten's being all knowledgeable and shit about alcohol, saying humidity and oak influence it.
Yes, Kirsten knows her stuff on that front.
I'll take her word for it.
Yeah. So it not just rum, whiskey, gin, things with a flavor will taste different depending what part of the world they come from. So the humidity, etc., come into play, and how long they're aged. So that's kind of how much flavor they're going to take from the barrel. All right, so that's worked. Now I'm supposed to just do, hold on a second, shake this up to make sure it's really powdered, and supposed to do a little dusting of, just going to put a tiny bit.
Cinnamon sugar is awesome, Joanna. It is.
This isn't cinnamon sugar, it's just cinnamon. So I can't really show you, or I'll tip the glass over, but I've got a stylish little dusting of cinnamon on there. So let's see.
We'll take your word for it.
Ooh, that's nice. Oh yeah, I'm appreciating that. Don't know why I'd never made that one before, but it's the first time I've made it, and now I understand why people like it. The brass rail, apparently named after that rail you get on some bars, where you put your foot on it. Oh.
Either they ran out of ideas for names, or it was a very inspired name.
Yeah. So it was the history of this one. This is on the Difford's site, and they're saying this is adapted from a recipe by Tony Abu-Ghanem, who was inspired by his late cousin, Helen David's penchant for a nightcap after a special occasion. Her favorite was Benedictine. Appropriately, Tommy named this drink after the Brass Rail in Port Huron, Michigan. There you go. It was named after his cousin's favorite bar, and the bar would have been made just the brass rail because a lot of bars have a brass rail on them. Apparently, she was something quite influential. Helen's memory is commemorated by the Helen David Spirit Award at the annual Taylor the Cocktail Festival. So she is apparently a big contributor to the world of cocktails.
Apparently.
Yeah, so the award, the Helen David Lifetime Achievement, recognizes a body of work and impact of a personality on the general cocktail community over the course of many years. So it's not bartender of the year. It's just recommending you've been a bartender who's been around for a while, who has done a lot for the world of cocktails, and we're recognizing that. So, and it's
Lucas Trooper finally made a plan for the dentist to fix teeth. I can't talk.
You scared of the dentist too?
Probably see my teeth right now. And I'm not scared of the dentist. I have a fear of needles. They can make me faint.
Oh, that took some effort for me to not freak out when a dentist comes at me with a needle. And I've, yeah.
Well, for me, it doesn't matter who it is or if it's me getting the needle. My dog was getting vaccinations a few years back. I was the one who took him in.
Yeah.
And, I was sitting there with the vet talking, follow-up stuff and all that. And then all of a sudden, I'm waking up on the floor.
Oh, no.
With my dog licking my face. To make it worse, my dog still had his lead on, and I was holding the lead. Actually, it was wrapped around my arm. I think
you dragged the dog off the table.
Might have pulled him down, yeah. But he was licking my face, so he was fine.
Yeah, he's going, buddy, what are you doing down there?
Medical professionals, no matter who they are, tend to get a bit iffy when someone faints. They get a bit concerned. It's not a good thing.
No. Yeah, particularly if you like hit the floor hard when you go down. So no, it was a real effort of willpower for me to not freak out when a dentist comes at me with a needle. And it's just like, just stay calm, just chanting a little Om Mani Padme Hum in my head as this like calmness mantra. And it's just like, yeah, okay, that hurts a bit what they're doing, but then none of the other stuff's gonna hurt. So fucking, come on, buddy, you can do it. You can do it. Like, yeah, it's ouch. It is ouchy. Let's not pretend it's not ouchy. It's ouchy. And also psychologically, I wonder what the fuck they're doing. How far are they sticking it in? All this shit starts playing on my mind, and it's like, oh god, it's finally over. And then you don't feel anything, and then they can go to town on your fucking teeth. And yeah.
And they say shit like, it's only going to feel like a bee sting or a mosquito bite, or insert something small and innocuous that I've felt before. It never is.
Yeah. They say a scratch is something they say sometimes.
A scratch? I've never heard that, but I call shenanigans on that one.
I think last time I went, they were like, the guy just didn't fuck around. He went, this will hurt for a little bit, but, we'll get through it. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Hurt a little bit. Yep. That's why I broke a filling. There's a filling on the back of my front teeth. And I worked out what had happened. My offspring had cooked the meal. It was just like spaghetti bolognese. And my daughter makes a very good spaghetti bolognese. But they whiz up some stuff with a food processor. And it's a handheld one. And like they whiz up some onions and other stuff. So there's this puree that goes into it. And, they'd actually broken the base on the glass housing on this thing, and they didn't realize.
Oh, no.
And so what happened is I got a tiny bit of glass in my food. It didn't cut me, but just Murphy's Law, it ended up between my teeth. Spaghetti bolognese, chew. It's all soft. And this tiny unyielding fragment just ended up between my front teeth when I bit down really hard, and just the pressure of it, like I felt it, and it really hurt, and it just cracked. And I went, oh, no. And I could feel like, I think that filling's cracked, and then it fell out, and I was going, oh yeah, okay, it was cracked. There we go. And so I went to the dentist, even though the dentist was only meant to be doing emergency stuff, but I don't think anyone was going to the dentist, so they were happy for me to go in and pay them some money.
Okay, I'm going to say something that's probably going to be controversial for spaghetti bolognese, but have they added pineapple to it yet?
If someone wanted to add pineapple to it, that's up to them.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good. I will say that because I've done it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm the main cook in my house, so...
Okay.
Yeah. I've experimented. Pineapple does go good in it.
Yeah, no, experimentation's the name of the game. I don't... it's like the whole thing about, is that good food or bad food? Is that a good drink or a bad drink? Is that a good movie or a bad movie? It's going, if you enjoy it, it's good. So if someone else says it's bad, but they're not eating it, it's like, well, what the fuck? I'm eating it and it's good. So I think Joanna reckons a lot of recipes are nice.
There we go.
There you go. So I think I told the story before that everyone's worried about pineapple on pizza. When I worked for Pizza Hut when I was at college, one of my co-workers would put potato salad on the pizza. Yeah, I know, right? That's exactly what I thought.
Okay, each their own. Not going to judge.
But now, lots of gourmet pizza places will do a pizza that has potato on it.
Having potato on it, I can see that. I'm like, okay, yeah. I like a good potato.
Yeah.
I prefer my potato mashed, but I like a good potato.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually like very thinly sliced bits of potato. I think you could get away with using the potato out of the potato salad because it was cooked, even though it was chunks of potato. It's cooked when it's in potato salad. So it's not going to be hard on the pizza.
Now, my best argument for someone not having pineapple on pizza is I'm allergic to pineapple, and I'm like, or I don't like pineapple, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's a good reason actually.
Yeah, no, that's completely legit.
I'm not going to argue with you those people on that. You're allergic, or you just don't like it. The fruit in general, okay, I'm not going to argue. Go ahead, don't eat it. Well, for me.
Kirsten likes potato salad on a white roll. That's fair. Yeah, what's the saying? Some people say, I don't want to yuck your yum. So it's it's like I'm always confused by people who try and force someone to eat something as well. No, I don't want that. I don't like it. I'll go and have some. No, I don't like it. I'll go and just try some. And it's like, I don't fucking like it.
Yeah, if I don't like a thing, I'm not going to enjoy eating it.
Yeah. Stella reckons she's the only Australian that hates potato salad. I don't think you're the only Australian who hates potato salad, Stella. I think there's a lot of people who don't like it. But yes, that's fair. You don't like it.
I don't dislike it, but if I had a choice between that and pasta salad, I'd eat the pasta salad.
Again, I probably would rarely seek out either. If it was pasta salad, I might go potato salad, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say no to either, really. But if it was literally choose pasta salad or potato salad, I might go potato salad. Depends how it's prepared. Because, again, people prepare it differently. Yeah. Strictly Sega got to head off. Thanks for dropping by, man. Stella's never met anyone else that hates potato salad. I'm sure they're out there. Stella, just start a Facebook group called I Hate Potato Salad and leave it open to people, and I bet you'll get a bunch of people joining. Oh, God, Kirsten, your husband has allergies to potato? That would suck, because I love chips. I'd be quite upset if I couldn't eat potato.
Kaylee Bunny on Twitch. Potato salad is torture.
There you go. On Stella, you've got a friend on Twitch. Kaylee Bunny says potato salad is torture. So you've got a like-minded compatriot there.
You have an ally. Yay! You're one step closer to taking over the world.
Yeah. From little things, big things grow. So got to start the anti-potato salad army somewhere, and this is a start. So, right. Okay. No, I was thinking it's only 9:20. I knocked that back really. I'm not having another drink tonight. Front up for work tomorrow.
Oh, you're working in the morning. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good reason not to get drunk.
Yeah. So, like there was people were joking last night, like, how did I shape up after Friday night? Because I had a few drinks on Friday night, and I guess I had a mild headache. That was the extent of it. Nothing much. And I was wondering, because I had a couple drinks last night, I was wondering how I'd be today. And I was up comparatively early. I haven't been feeling sleepy or sick all day, so it's good. Oh, Kirsten is glass half full. It sucks that for the husband that he's allergic, but that means he doesn't steal her snacks. So that's a very glass half full approach.
Yes, exactly. More for her.
Yeah. It reminds me of a friend I had at college. Get chips from the cafe at college. I'd put vinegar on them, and he's always trying to steal my chips, and he didn't like vinegar. And he was like, "Oh, do you put it on purposely to stop me from eating?" I went, "Well, no, but I'm going to from now on."
Lucas said he found the page called "We Hate Angry Aussie."
I don't think he did, but because I did see that comment, and I actually just did a search for it, and nothing came up. But it would be funny if he did. I always think it's funny when people obsess about me, and I literally don't know they exist.
Yep. One of my friends who streams on Twitch, he was he had someone just constantly making new Twitch accounts just to troll him, and it's like, things relating to some of the stuff he streams, and it's just like, you are a strange, pathetic little man.
Oh
But
yeah,
me and the other mod were just sitting back laughing. We were in a Discord call together, and we were just like, "Yep, this is funny."
yeah. I mean, the phrase that springs to mind is living rent free in someone else's head.
Well, he brought up the fact that each time that guy followed him, it increased his followers and his view count.
Yeah. It's like it hasn't happened for ages on this live stream, but occasionally fuckwits come on and they'd be making up. Like I'd block them because they were dickheads, and then they would make up another account to come back, and I just block them again. I go, I know it doesn't take that long to set up an account, but it takes much less time to block it every time they do it, and it's weird.
Well, one of the troll's attempts was something about stealing his IP, and he's like, "Yeah, tell me how good that goes," because he's IT specialist as well as his actual job. LAN admin 2, that's his job title. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So, if anyone knows about IP addresses, it's him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing trolls do: talk big about the things they're going to do.
Yeah.
And their capabilities are usually inversely proportional to how much they go on with.
Their capabilities are as big as their brains.
Yeah. They're a bit inadequate, shall we say?
They have a little problem.
Yes, and it causes them much psychological stress. Locust Trooper, yes, I have had Friendly Geordies fans troll me, but that doesn't really mean that much because that's a thing that just happens on the internet.
Yeah, but didn't you at one point compliment Friendly Geordies? I mean,
we agree, as much as I know about him, we agree on a significant number of topics.
Yeah.
And there's another range that I'm quite sure we don't agree on, but
definitely.
I also don't know him well enough to be sure, and I also aren't that fucking obsessed about like if all I wanted was views and notoriety, I would have responded to all the trolls over the years, because that's a cheap way to get views, to actually indulge in this drama, and I just find it boring. Was that Kaylee, buddy? You were streaming for charity, and a troll came in and made sure you wouldn't use cheat codes for Saints Row, and he threatened to call the FBI because it had copyright music and called you the B word. I mean, that's a prize example of a real loser. Just sad. And that's why I just, as a general rule, don't engage with them. If a troll comes onto the stream, like someone who doesn't like me can come onto the stream as much as they want to, but if they're going to be boring and won't shut the fuck up, then they're going bye-byes. Safi, you're going to have a lovely garden. What are you talking? Or are you talking about photos I post? Any garden photos I post are all Mrs. Angry's work. So, well, actually, I should have made a brass rail before now. This, even just the dregs from my cocktail shaker, tastes really nice. What's that? Oh, a bit of eggshell. Fucking hell. That's why I was double straining before. Yeah. That's something solid in what I just drank. What's that? It's a bit of eggshell. That's why you double strain ones with
extra calcium.
I'll start with the green orchids. Yes, that was a little landmark one. Mrs. Angry does, well, she does both vegetable gardening and flower growing in our garden, and she particularly likes orchids. Has a lot, and I mean a lot of orchid plants. So if you follow me on social media, you will see semi-regularly I post pictures of orchids and that Mrs. Angry's grown. And there's one today. It was kind of special because she rescued this plant someone had thrown out 5 years ago. Like, it was on the nature strip, it was on the footpath, it wasn't flowering. And she went, "Oh, that actually looks fairly healthy. I'm going to take that home." And she looked after it for 5 years, and it's just flowered for the first time. She's been looking after it for 5 years, and it's finally paid off with flowers. And they're different to any other ones she has, which is a bonus, because it could easily have just been exactly the same as one of her others. But yeah, it's interesting. It's green is the most common thing. Like, it has sort of they're a cross between leaves and petals that go around the main flower, and they're green, but they're pretty good. Look, this will be a real low rent way of showing you, but I'll put my no. See, that's a really shit way of showing you. You can't really see it, but I could I could show my Instagram, I guess. But like, look at this.
Yeah, share screen.
Yeah. You see, you probably see there's more colors in those ones, but that's look. I'll bring up my Instagram.
Yeah, bring it up on the browser and
share screen. Oh God, I'm probably not logged into Instagram on this. No, let's have a look.
Well,
I am.
Do you need to log in to look at the?
No, I guess I could just find it, but
this way's quicker.
It's easier if I'm logged in. All right, so like, okay, here's some. Okay, and do a little share screen. Chrome tab, Insta. Okay, so here's some that I posted recently. You can see the rather striking markings on these ones, and there's other different ones in the background. I was doing the arty narrow focus stuff, so the portrait mode on the camera, and this is the one I posted today. You can see how these ones are green. So yeah, they're different and unique. And there's the other one I posted. See, these ones are yellow. They're a very light color, kind of washed out there, but they're very sort of creamy yellow color and very plain. You get these other ones that, you know, yellow with the orange stripes. She's very clever at the gardening. So, yeah, so I like sharing those. Just noticing how many pictures of the cats I've been posting recently too. Makes me look like a crazy cat lady, but that's okay. Yes, but very, very proud of the stuff Mrs. Angry does in the garden, so I often show them off. There's some people who think, oh, the angry Aussie, he must be angry all the time. Go, yeah, my Instagram's like flowers and street art, and the occasional selfie, usually with me holding a cocktail. So I'm less angry on Instagram than on other social media. Joanna, definitely very, very talented, very impressed. And because orchids are not easy to grow, a lot of people have a lot of trouble with orchids. And Mrs. Angry's got more than a dozen. I'm not even sure how many, if there's 24 different orchid plants that she's growing. And there's one in particular that's like this huge fucking orchid bush, like it's huge. When it comes into full flower, it has, I don't know, like 30 or 40 flowers on it. It's fucking huge. And it's big flowers too, because some variants of orchids are tiny, like they'll have tiny little flowers on them. So Mrs. Angry's got a bit of a spectrum from the small to medium to some quite large ones. There's a particular plant supply place that's a couple suburbs further out that we occasionally go to, like for a birthday present, we get you another orchid, go out there, and they have some amazing varieties. It's often very hard to choose when you're there which ones to get, because they've got like, I don't know, 50 or 60 varieties of orchid, and they're all amazing. Like Clifton loves flowers but has a black thumb. I feel like I would be the same if I tried the gardening, would be nowhere near as successful. So, each to their own, recognizing strengths and where maybe you don't have strengths is quite important, I think. So I leave the gardening to Mrs. Angry and just try and provide support where I can. So
You leave the gardening to her. She leaves the alcohol to you.
pretty much, I am the drink maker. Like we try and do date night every second Saturday, and since we've been in ISO, so this is like, again, I lose track of time. Is it 4 months? Is it 5 months? I'm not sure.
5-6 months, yeah.
Yeah, of not being able to go out for dinner. So we've been doing date nights at home, but we've been getting like takeaway from some of the places we really liked going out to on date night that have started to provide takeaway. So
yeah, I'm not sure if it's the quarantine / isolation, or just they've decided to start doing it. But when me and my partner are ordering on paydays, because we always have buy dinner that night.
Yeah.
We go onto menu log, and we've seen some places that we don't normally see: Hungry Jack's, KFC, Baskin Robbins.
Yes, yeah, and it's the whole spectrum, as you say. Some of the big fast food chains that never used to deliver now deliver, but some really high-end places that would have absolutely looked down on takeaway in the past deliver now, or you can pick up from them.
Yeah.
So we do our bit to still support small business. We get dinner from one of the places we like. We set a table. I do a cocktail menu for the evening. I actually, last time, because Mrs. Angry is having a bit of a problem with heartburn, so anything acidic can really give a heartburn, and because so many cocktails have citrus in them, she's become more wary of the cocktails. So last date night, I made 3 milk clarified cocktails, because we worked on the assumption the milk clarification process really tames down the acidity, because it clearly does when you taste it. So previous date nights, I'd gone to trouble of making a menu that had 8 different cocktails on it to choose from, and it would sort of keep favorites from one. And I did 8 the first time, and then we decided which were the 2 or 3 we liked the most, and they stayed on there. And then I came up with some other ones to fill in. So it hasn't been 8 completely new ones each time, but it's been some new ones each time. So I've been rotating what was on offer on the home bar. But yes, we might actually stick with just doing some milk clarified ones, because I can't do them spontaneously. They take a minimum of an hour to prepare, and can take many hours depending what you do. Joanna, you're also not a fan of acidity. That's fair. That was the other thing I did besides actually doing some milk clarified cocktails, specifically searching cocktails that don't have citrus in them and finding cocktails that sound good that don't have citrus in them, because most cocktails have citrus in them. I reckon at least 2/3 of cocktails have citrus in them, because it's just citrus is a really good balance for booze. Basically, you get normally you get the boozy side and often something to sweeten it, and then for balance something acidic. So usually lemon or lime juice are the really popular ones, but it might be grapefruit, it might be pineapple, it might be orange or whatever. But yeah, normally you're trying to find some sort of a balance in a cocktail. So it's pretty common to have like booze and sweetness and acidity in it, because if you get the ratios right, it's really nicely balanced. But if you've got a sensitivity to acidity and it's going to give you heartburn, then that's not good.
Yeah.
Joanna's less fond of the non-sugar juice. I love doing variety. Like I've said many times, I'm not really into bitter. I like, for variety, something that's got a little bit of bitterness, but you get stuff that's like, again, one of the most popular cocktails at the moment is the Negroni. And I can't drink Negronis people make because 1/3 of it is a really bitter aperitif, usually Campari or something like Campari. And that's just too bitter for me. I've had it made a dozen different ways in half a dozen different places, and I've never been able to get on board. If I make one myself, I only use a tiny bit of the bitter liqueur and then substitute something else to make up volume. So I like a little bit of bitter, but there are some cocktails that are super bitter. Yeah.
Safa asked an interesting question. I'd say no more than lemon juice. Actually, probably less.
Yeah, pineapple juice is less acidic.
Was it? No, I think I've... Okay, I've read something. It's a fruit that we all eat. I think it is pineapple.
Yeah.
It breaks down the proteins.
Yeah.
Especially the ones in meat.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. You use it to tenderize meat.
Yeah.
So when you're eating pineapples, you eat a lot. Your mouth starts, getting tingly and all that. That's because that's what it's doing. So in a way, it's probably more bitter than that because it's actually, eating into your skin.
Pineapple is more sweet, obviously, than lemon juice, but it's less. I'm pretty sure it's less acidic because you can actually cook meat with lemon juice. Lemon juice is so acidic it will actually partially cook meat if you put it on it. So I think the most acidic is lemon juice, lime juice. I could be completely wrong because I'm really just pulling this out of my ass, but I think it goes like lemon juice, lime juice, grapefruit, pineapple, orange. Like orange is acidic, but it's the least acidic. I think it goes that way, like lemon, lime, grapefruit, pineapple, orange. But I'm prepared to be proven wrong on that because I'm really just kind of making that up. Well, not totally making it up. It's also from tasting all those things. Yeah. So, for instance, like when I do the milk clarified drinks, it needs acid content. Pineapple juice is plenty acidic enough to curdle milk. So if you're ever anywhere, like you're getting a tropical drink and it's got any sort of cream element, whether it's actual cream or milk or coconut cream.
Oh, in comes Stella with the research.
Nice. So 3.5 pH and 2 pH. I don't even know how pH works. Does that mean pineapple is more acidic?
The higher the number, the less acidic, I believe. Yeah, because 7 is neutral.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't even know.
Not by much, but enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you ever get a tropical drink that has pineapple and a milk or cream element, and they'll shake it really hard, and you get this really yummy, creamy drink, part of the reason they're shaking it really fucking hard is as soon as the pineapple juice hits the milk or cream element, it'll curdle it and it'll separate. So you have to shake the fuck out of it to reblend it, essentially.
Yeah,
Either
Stella
shaking
just,
it by hand or putting it in a blender. Yeah.
Stella just clarified lemon is more acidic.
Yeah.
And Safra asks another interesting question.
Best
And
juice
I'll
for
let you take it.
cocktails. If I was forced to only ever have one juice, it would be lemon. The most common, like I said, I reckon like 2/3 of cocktails have citrus in them. Of those, I think minimum 80% are lemon and lime. I think probably half or more of them are lemon juice. There's a lot that have lime juice. Then there's some that have pineapple. There are fewer that have grapefruit juice, and there really aren't very many that have orange juice in them.
Stella proving why we love her, having her around.
The Google.
Why were you Googling lemon juice yesterday? Just out of curiosity or for an actual reason?
Sure, I bet there was a reason. I bet there was a good reason for Googling the pH of lemon.
Yeah, because why not? At this point, she's probably nicer like the rest of us.
Kirsten, as Kirsten says, fresh juice. I think a bar that doesn't use fresh juice is pretty sucky. I just used this, and I do actually challenge. I have never done it, and in fact, okay, Kirsten, this would be a fun thing to do if we're ever the fuck out of lockdown, if that ever happens. Apparently,
you guys have 4 more weeks.
Yeah, of the minimum 4 more weeks of the really harsh lockdown. Like Kirsten and I have been talking about, doing cocktail videos together. We do a blind test, because I guess you could do 3 variations. One would be this bottled stuff. And because you'll often see when I'm making cocktails, I have juice like in one of these containers. It's because I've juiced a whole bunch of fruit and then I just keep it in this. So, and I'll keep it for a while until I use it all. So it's, this has preservatives in it. When I squeeze it, it doesn't have preservatives, but, it's not absolutely fresh after a while. So could do a blind taste test of the 3. One with like the juice in one of these bottles from a supermarket, one with something I've squeezed that's more than a day old, and one squeezing it as you make the cocktail. And do them side by side and then do a blind taste test. Can you tell the difference between, because I saw a guy on YouTube do this, and what he pointed out, putting just the juice into a little cup and sipping it, that's easy, because if you've just squeezed the juice, it's actually the oil is still kind of floating around. And you tell just as you sip it, you'll actually get a hit of the citrus oil. But once you mix it into a drink, that's a whole different kettle of fish. I think I know where Stella's going. She's going, maybe we don't want to know why she was comparing the pH of certain things. I'm getting a vibe. I'm as they say, I'm picking up what you're laying down, basically. We'll leave it. Yeah.
Yes, let's not ask on an open forum, shall we say.
Yeah. I tell you, okay, I know Safa just saying fake juice, real juice. This sort of juice, you really tell the difference. This is a mixed juice rather than orange juice. But for instance, if you had a bottle of orange juice from the supermarket, that's totally different to orange juice you squeeze. It's totally different. And you really tell the difference in
this is mostly lemon juice.
Yeah, this is mostly lemon juice. It's
it even says, right?
Yeah, 99.9%. Yeah. And but it is reconstituted. So it's either been concentrated and then had water added again, or it's potentially in some cases actually been dehydrated and then had water added again. But they're saying it's 99%. But yeah, it's definitely not the same. But I suspect once it's mixed into a cocktail, it's very hard to tell. Very hard to tell. But it is something I definitely want to do sometime down the line. A blind taste test. Make the same cocktail 3 times. One with the bottle juice, one with juice that I've been keeping in the fridge for a couple of days, and one squeeze the juice right as you make the cocktail, and see if you can tell the difference in a blind taste test. Because I've done a few blind taste tests. Oh, wow. Okay. Stella's not going to pull a Snowtown, but you still don't really want to know. No, I really wasn't thinking of that. You were checking acids for how you could dissolve bodies best.
Yeah, maybe I want to know, but not here or now.
I have a lady in my life. I have a strong suspicion as to why you are checking the pH of different things. I think I probably know, but as I say, we'll leave that be. I was not suspecting you were trying to think. The kitty, big ginger kitty.
Yes, Lulu. She's a beautiful puss.
Is that a girl?
Yep.
Because my ginger is a girl too, and everyone always says like 99% of gingers are boys.
Yeah. And it's the opposite for calicos.
Yeah.
Finding a male calico and a female ginger is rare.
But we've both got female. And in fact, your kitty is more uniformly ginger than mine as well. Mimsy's kind of got tiger stripes, but no, she's the center of attention. She's like, well,
she doesn't know where she wants to go because
yeah, cats are like that.
Go that way.
Go that way.
Well, there's stuff over this side of the desk. She has to go that way.
Yeah. I mean, like, for instance, I've done a blind taste test on myself with expensive ingredients and cheap ingredients because I thought, okay, I was making my whiskey sours with like Jack Daniels. I was going, you can't tell the difference. And then I bought this little sample pack post-Christmas from Dan Murphy's because it was really cheap, because it was meant as a Christmas gift and they didn't sell them all. So post-Christmas, they were selling them really cheap. And it was really luxury whiskies. Cool. So subtlety's going out the window, Stella.
That's exactly what we're thinking, Stella. Well, I was thinking it.
Vaginal fluids are pH of 3.8, 4.5. That's good to know. That is a thing that we should know. But I think that's also telling me that I was on the wrong track. Oh, Kirsten, that was the first live stream you watched. So I recorded that for my YouTube channel. I made, here's a whiskey sours, like my favorite drink, with like Jack Daniels. It was either Jim Beam or Jack Daniels. So it was a really bog standard bourbon. And here's one made with this expensive bourbon. And here's one made with this other expensive bourbon. Now I'm going to blind taste test. One of them was a really seriously overproof bourbon too. In fact, I think I've still got a little bit of that. Is that this one?
Those was cheap.
Booker. Yeah, 66% alcohol, which is really fucking high proof for a bourbon. 40% being standard. 50%, 100 proof being regarded as higher proof, but so 66% is really high proof. So I made it with your bog standard bourbon, an expensive bourbon, and then an overproof bourbon. And then I blind tasted them, said, can I really taste the difference? Is expensive ingredients in a cocktail bullshit? And I was saying, I reckon it's bullshit. And I tasted it and I could instantly tell this is a better bourbon. And I could also tell which one was the overproof as well. It was kind of like, that's the overproof one. I can tell that's the overproof one. But yeah, that was because my going in position was, all this talk about expensive ingredients is bullshit. And then I did it and was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. You can really tell the difference. Yes, Kirsten, it was a 1.25 litre flagon from. I've still got Scotch, blended Scotch, which is a quite decent Scotch. You know, it's at the size of it. It's not 1.25 litres, by the way. It's 1.75 litres.
Oh, yeah. Let's quibble over a quarter of a litre.
Half a litre.
Half a-
That's a lot.
Again, quibbling over a quarter of a litre here.
So,
I said quarter, you said half.
yeah. So, I was surprised that there was that big a difference. But now as Kirsten will be pleased, I've got the quality
Yes.
Starwood products.
And Safa, you are right either way. 66% will get you kisses and pissed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you get both. In the right company, you'll get kisses and pissed.
You're right either way, Safa.
So, yes, I've got the quality Starwood products now, the sort of entry-level twofold, which is really nice. It's like entry-level kind of sounds like an insult, but it's really nice and smooth and goes really well in cocktails. But I got the new special one, the 100 proof Fortis, the higher alcohol volume one. And, I've enjoyed it. Made an old-fashioned with that was good, and made a boulevardier with it, which was good. When I'm sort of waiting with bated breath for more of my booze deliveries to arrive. But when the vermouth the sweet vermouth I'm waiting for comes in, I'm going to make another video for my YouTube channel making a Manhattan, which is whiskey and vermouth, because there's also a boulevardier is whiskey, vermouth, and the bitter, like Campari, whereas the Manhattan's just the whiskey and vermouth. And that Fortis whiskey and this, I had a little sampler of the vermouth, and it's all gone now, so I ordered a full bottle of it. When that comes, the Fortis and this very fruity vermouth go so amazingly well together. And also get to tell everyone the name AIDSy came up with it, because we're making jokes about it's an Australian Manhattan, it's an Australian in Manhattan, it's like Crocodile Dundee. What will we call it? Will we call it an Australian in Manhattan? Will we call it the Crocodile Dundee? And he went, no, it should be called That's Not a Knife. So the drink, the Australian Manhattan, as far as I'm concerned, is officially called That's Not a Knife.
Could have called it a Melbourne, or picked a suburb of Melbourne to call it after.
Yeah,
the Carlton.
The Carlton.
They'll never confuse everyone. They'll never confuse anyone at all.
Yeah, but I wanted to have a reference to Manhattan as well. It's kind of like the boulevardier, which is French for, man about town, someone who strolls the boulevards.
Mm.
When I wanted to come up with an Australian name for that, I almost called it Collins Street, because people always refer to the Paris end of Collins Street, where all the expensive designer stores are. And so I thought, that kind of makes sense, a Collins Street, because that's the Paris Boulevard in Melbourne. But I went with Walkabout as the name, which I think was a better name for it. Locust Trooper, the link for video chat. Dude, I am just about to go to bed. So I will post it another night. Probably not going to be on tomorrow night. Probably having a lazy TV watching night with Mrs. Angry tomorrow night. I might be on. Anything could happen between now and then. But yes, I will probably be on Tuesday and the rest of the week. Sunday and Monday are the days. Oh, and sometimes because next Saturday is date night, so I won't be on next Saturday. So I may not be on tomorrow night, but I'll probably be on for the rest of the week. So I hope to see all you fine people around then. Look after yourselves. Okay, Locust Trooper wants to say good night. Okay. I'm gonna put the link just so you can say good night then. But you'll have to be quick because I'm literally going to bed.
Aren't we special?
Yeah. Well, he wants to say good night to everyone, I think. But yes, tomorrow, Monday. Happy Monday. back into the working world for me, and I don't know who else, because we all have different schedules these days.
Mm.
It's the way it goes. So yep. I hope you all look after yourselves, enjoy yourselves. Try not to let the weirdness of the world get to you too much, because it is pretty fucking weird. Love you. Are you going to say good night?
There you go. Yeah. Well, good night, Angry. Hey, good night,
Good
Fox.
night.
Oh, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, the next day, Angry.
Yeah,
You're gonna be
during the week, definitely. All right, everyone. Good
all the
night.
man love, man. All good.
Bye.
All right, buddy. See ya. Good night, everyone. Bye.